Hello everybody, this is Jason Deese with the National Weather Service. Here to talk to you today about the severe thunderstorm potential that we're going to be looking at late tonight into Tuesday. And we're talking about a squall line right now that is situated, as you can see on the map on the left, kind of extends from Louisiana, just now pushing into portions of Mississippi as of 4 p.m. And this is a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're going to be watching to see if this quicker motion continues into the evening hours tonight, which would affect what you're seeing there on the right-hand side as far as our potential. Right now we're expecting the primary threats, and now this is with the line of thunderstorms, damaging winds 60 miles per hour, some very heavy rainfall looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Averages would be 1.5 to 2.5 over North Georgia with isolated higher amounts. There is the potential for some isolated brief tornadoes, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. Right now, the timing's the big thing we're trying to get down right now. As of right now, we're looking at that Rome, Carrollton, Columbus area around 3 a.m. Again, with the quicker movement, though, we could be looking at this moving up a little bit to maybe closer to the midnight hour. So I'm going to be watching that closely. Atlanta and Jasper, Atlanta Metro, mainly 6 a.m., but again, that could be a little bit earlier. And then mid-morning for Athens and Macon. So what we're going to be detailing coming up is the afternoon commute may also be interrupted by a secondary wave that could be coming through. So we've got quite a bit to talk about here, so let's get through this. So as mentioned, the big thing initially is going to be the timing and getting the timing down for you guys on when this stuff's going to be moving through. What we're looking at here is actually what the forecast models think the radar might look like at around 2 a.m. And again, this activity is starting to move a little bit faster than anticipated, so we might want to add a little bit of a buffer to this one. So maybe thinking 11 p.m. to around midnight and then through the 2 a.m. hour. So it may be a little bit earlier than what's put on this map. But you can see the precip by then is right through the Birmingham area and really goes right through the spine of Alabama there. Still west of our area, but we're going to be watching on the next couple of slides how this line progresses. So again, as we move forward in time, let's imagine this to be 2 to 3 a.m. through the 5 a.m. hour, because we might be a little bit faster. And we can see the activity already starting to move into northwest Georgia to affect areas from Rome down to LaGrange, even moving close to the Columbus area. So you can see the line is more north to south, so it's not really going to move into northwest Georgia all that much faster than it does into southwest Georgia. So we're going to be looking at basically about the same time. And you can see some fairly healthy activity, showers and thunderstorms with this first line. I do want you to turn your attention out to the Mississippi-Alabama border, though, and you can see around Columbus, Mississippi, we do have a secondary line starting to form. That could be a key player into our weather as well as we go into Tuesday, so we're going to be watching that closely. Here we go, the 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. time frame. We can see it starting to move into the metro Atlanta area, so could be certainly a wet rush hour here in Atlanta and then other places as well, going down all the way to near Americus there and the north into LJ. Showers and thunderstorms definitely moving in. Looking at the strength of the storms, we're going to be looking at that a little bit later, but we certainly could have some very heavy rainfall at the very least and some strong winds. Out to the west, that line that we talked about, the secondary line starting to move into Birmingham, looks like it's strengthening a little bit. And again, that could be a key player as we go forward into the afternoon. So we're going to go forward in time here, and we could be looking at anywhere from that 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. time frame. Here comes that secondary line. Looks like it's going to be moving right into the metro Atlanta area once again, bearing down on Macon as well as we get into that 4 p.m. time frame. Up to LJ, we're seeing these showers and thunderstorms with this secondary line moving in. So not only the morning commute, but it looks like the afternoon commute could be interrupted by these showers and thunderstorms as well. So when we talk about potential thunderstorm development, what we really need is the fuel to get those thunderstorms going. The map here on the left shows anywhere in orange and red we have sufficient fuel to get those thunderstorms going. And you can see out to the west where we have the thunderstorms going now, going into Mississippi. Parts of Louisiana have already gotten hit pretty hard today. We have more than what we need as far as fuel goes to get these thunderstorms going. So pretty sufficient with those oranges and reds. But as you look at the map on the right, going to Tuesday morning, that activity really hovers along the Gulf Coast, so could be that Gulf Coast is really cutting us off from getting the fuel we need to get the thunderstorms going, especially during the morning hours. That could change during the afternoon, but during the morning the problem is going to be getting actually some thunderstorms generated in this area, and that's why we're not looking at really widespread severe weather across the area with this particular system, and why Storm Prediction Center has us in a slight risk currently, whereas they're in a moderate risk to the west. We just don't have the fuel necessary to go for some of these stronger thunderstorms as we look into Tuesday morning. So while we might be lacking in the fuel to get those thunderstorms going, what we don't lack is the low-level winds necessary to generate tornadoes. You can see in the map on the left we got lots of oranges and reds, again indicative of sufficient winds for tornadoes, but they also have the fuel for the thunderstorms going hand in hand. While we don't have the fuel, you can see on the right for Tuesday we do have those low-level winds, the oranges and reds, centered right over Atlanta Metro all the way up into the rest of north and northwest Georgia. So sufficient low-level winds for tornado formation. Again, it's going to be, can we get enough fuel in the area to generate thunderstorms to produce those tornadoes? Right now, it's not looking that great of possibility right now, just isolated tornadoes at best, but we're going to be continuing to monitor it through tomorrow. So again, what we need is the fuel for storms and the low-level winds. So we have this tool with the local office here that tells us where we get both of those, where it's going to match up the best as far as the tornado potential. Anywhere we see over 1, and especially as we get into the oranges and reds, that's where we'd be looking at the best chances of tornadoes. So as the initial activity comes through in the morning, really not looking all that great as far as tornado potential, which is great news for us. It looks like most of the values are below 1, so very marginal during this time frame. But then as we go on in time, and this is really associated with that secondary line coming through, looking more 8 a.m. to that noon hour as that stuff starts coming to northwest Georgia, we do see values starting to get in those oranges and reds, which is conducive for tornado formation. Again, these would still be isolated in nature, not looking for a widespread event by any means with this, but it's something we're going to be monitoring closely. And again, it would be those areas largely north of the I-20 corridor, going up along I-75 that we're going to be watching the closest. And then as we get into the afternoon hours, as it moves through the Atlanta Metro with that secondary line, values once again taper off and go below 1. That's because our best low-level winds have shifted off to the northeast with this system. However, can't completely rule out isolated tornadoes even as we go down through the I-85 corridor there. Still some marginal values there, so we'll be watching it closely again. So what would be the worst case scenario in this situation would be that first line that we were talking about moving through during the morning hours, and then before that secondary line could move through, if we get any amount of sunshine, then that's just going to add to the fuel for those thunderstorms to develop and be able to take advantage of those low-level winds. Right now that's not looking all that likely for the area. It looks like we're going to stay pretty cloudy through the day, so hopefully we won't get any of that sun that we need for tornado development. We would just like to see those clouds continue, and that's what we're expecting right now. Regardless of the scenario, however, it does look like we are going to get some trees coming down, especially across the northern tier and the higher elevations of the mountains. They've had quite a bit of rain over the last 36 hours, so we have some pretty wet root systems up there. And then even with the showers, even if we get no thunderstorms with this system, it looks like with the low-level winds that we have, we could be mixing down some 40-mile-per-hour winds with these showers that come through. So that'll be enough to take down a few trees up there and even across the remainder of North Georgia too. So we'll be watching out for any of those strong winds that move through the area. As far as the flooding potential, as mentioned, we've had close to an inch of rain in the last 36 hours. Across the northern tier there, you can see in the blues and darker greens some of the heavier rain that's occurred. So that's the area we're really going to be watching for sustained heavy rainfall coming through there again. 1.5 to 2.5 inches with some isolated higher amounts getting up close to 3 inches are possible. If we get any of that over that northern tier, then there could be some flash flooding problems, also some river flood problems. So there has been a flash flood watch issued for that northern tier, roughly for those areas that you see there that are in the blue and the dark green across North Georgia. So let's go to the bottom line on this. It's going to be with the timing 2 waves. I mean, we've got the first wave coming in late tonight into Tuesday morning. Again, the timing on that may be moving up just a little bit. Timing may be moving up just a little bit on that second wave too, so it could be late morning into the afternoon hours. Could affect both aspects of the rush hour too, so we're going to be watching for that. Confidence remains low on the extent of the severe weather. Again, we don't have really those fuel for thunderstorms that we need right now. For that and tornadoes, but we're high on the strong winds downing some trees. We're going to get those 40-mile-per-hour winds even in the showers that will be capable of putting some trees down. Bottom line is, if you see the sun tomorrow morning sometime between those two waves that are coming through, then the afternoon likely will not go as well as we hope. But right now we're not going for that. We're thinking it's going to be cloudy pretty much the whole time, and this is going to be more of an isolated severe event with some of the flash flooding potential as well. Thank you for your time, and we'll be sending out some email updates or posting something to the website with Graphicasts, letting you guys know the latest updates on what's coming up. Thank you so much.